Awesome. Now that you've got everything set up, your argon gas is hooked up and going, you are ready to start welding. So let's sit down together. We'll bring the camera up here close to the electrode, and we're going to make our very first welds together, hand in hand. All right, perfect. Now we have our camera zoomed in on our electrode. At this point, we have the welder turned on, we've selected our energy settings, and we've turned it out of the idle state, so now it is ready to weld. We've also turned on our argon gas. Now you'll notice here, as we start welding, nothing's happening here whatsoever unless I first ground the piece I'm going to weld. So I have here just a piece of stainless steel, just a piece of sheet metal, nothing fancy, and I'm going to attach my grounding clip onto the piece. You always have to be attached and grounded in order to make a weld. Once that's attached, you can hear, move that out of the way, you can hear the welder will start. Right? If that's not attached, nothing's happening. Okay, so always make sure you have your grounding electrode attached. Now, I can attach this as far away as I want, as long as it's still electrically conducive. So I can put it back here and come clear over to this end to make a weld, and that will work. However, you always want it as close as possible to the electrode. That will give you the best and most consistent results, especially when welding something like permanent jewelry. Now we're going to go ahead and make a weld. What happens here is we're going to come up, we're going to touch this electrode with our piece and hold steady. As we hold steady, the electrode will then retract about 1 millimeter and it will start the arc to make the weld. So here we go. See that? Quick and easy. I touch it, hold steady, and a weld happens. So that was a quick, easy weld. Again, all we do is we touch and hold steady. Now the most common thing to happen is you don't have steady hands. So you'll notice if I touch and pull away, it aborts the weld. And that's normal. You'll hear that sound again. Here, let's do it one more time. You'll hear the sound in the welder. That's saying that you pulled away too far and the weld could not be made. The other downfall is pushing. If you touch and push, you're going to stick the weld. And I'll show you that here in just a second. But once you do that, then you'll have to pull out the electrode and re-clean it. So again, these are the welds at 5 watt seconds right here. As we turn it up, let's turn it up here to 10 so you can see a difference. Okay, now we're at 10 watt seconds or 10 joules. Okay, there's a much bigger spark on that one. The weld is a little bit bigger. And now let's go up to 15. And let's do that again here. Even bigger. There's a lot more spark, a lot more melting metal. So as you change your energy settings, your weld will be bigger, your spark will be brighter, and you'll get more melting overall. So what I want you to do right now is go ahead and you can pause this video and let's try making some welds just like this. You can grab a sheet metal like this, you can grab some screws or anything you have laying around the house just to try it out. I want you to bring it up and try to touch and make the weld. And again, the two things that you're going to see, and now that we're at the end, I'll show you this. Either if you touch and pull away, it'll abort the weld, or if I push too hard, then it won't weld or it'll stick. See, that's completely welded onto there now, so I have to break that off. And that's if you're using too much pressure. So if you touch it and if you stick it, that's okay. Everyone does it first. Just break it loose. You'll need to go back and resharpen and clean this electrode if you stick it. But again, get the handle of just holding it nice and steady, nice and gentle, and letting the welds happen. Now it's your turn. Turn off the video, sit down, and start welding. Grab a flat piece of metal or something very, very simple, hook it up, and start welding. Do some welds at full power, do some welds at the very minimum power. Get used to the feel of it. Guess what? You're probably going to make a mistake. You're probably going to stick to the electrode. That's okay. This is practice. So sit down, practice, get a good feel of how to use the welder on some scrap metal, and then meet me in the next video.